Welcome to Virginia Mountain to Valley Living. It's that time of year again for our annual haunted locations in Virginia's mountains and valleys. So hang around to the end of the video so you can find out what those places are. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get started right now. My name is Dr. Crankystein. And here is the bride of Crankystein.
He's so weird, folks. I'm the more serious, spirited sidekick.
Seriously, my name's Stephen.
I'm Leslie.
And we are local real estate agents here who tend to be a little crazy every once in a while, having a lot of fun. Here in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, we help folks all the time buy and sell homes. We'd love to help you, and if you give us a chance as well. Where do they find our information to contact us?
All that is in the description down below. Check there.
That's right. 6 feet down below, that is.
I'm sorry, folks. He's here all day.
So, seriously, all our information in the description down below. Also, we'd love it if you click on that subscribe button, touch that bell icon, so you can follow along for all of the adventures. Yes, it helps our channel, but it also helps other folks just like you who are looking to learn more about the great area in which we live here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, today,
to a serious note,
to a serious note, we're going to go into several different places here in Staunton today that are supposedly haunted. Now, Staunton has a very rich history, and one of the places here is Thornrose Cemetery. Now, I did a video not too awful long ago, which ended with Thornrose Cemetery. Yeah, check it out. It's right here. And check that out, because it wasn't all about Thornrose Cemetery, but that was at the end, and it gives you some information about this cemetery, which was really kind of historical and unique. It really was. Now, on our tour today, like I say, we're going to go to several places, and in those places, I will say that if you ever get a chance to come down to downtown Staunton and go on one of the Ghosts of Staunton walking tour,
highly recommend.
It is well worth it. It's very affordable. Not only do they have ghost tours, but they have a couple different kinds of tours as well, a Victorian tour, Civil War tour, and I mean, they're just great folks, and they know their history really, really well, reasonably priced, and you'll learn a lot about Staunton and its history in the Civil War and throughout other times as well. So, like I say, give them a like and then come down and visit them. That's where some of our information, some of it, has come from today. But like I say, we're going to go ahead and leave the cemetery, and we're going to go to our first, supposedly, haunted location right here in Staunton. So we're here at our first location here in Staunton. We are at the Mary Baldwin University, and Mary Baldwin University was founded in 1842, and its leader eventually was Mary Baldwin, with whom the college is named after. Now, while you might find paintings and drawings of other people with the name of Mary Baldwin that's similar, you probably won't find a picture or an image of Mary Baldwin. Why is that?
Well, she had a paralysis when she was younger that affected part of her face. So she didn't like to have her picture or or portrait done because of that. Exactly.
Now, however, that did not keep Mary Baldwin from becoming a dominant force in women's education, and also for the city of Staunton during the late 1800s. I mean, even during the Civil War, when the college was struggling to stay afloat, Mary Baldwin would do trades for goods, barter for things with students, and also the Union soldiers would come and they would take everything in the town, and Mary Baldwin helped hide things here at the university. They'd hide food in bed mattresses, and
she'd sew them in the mattresses. And she would put them in barrels and put tablecloths over the barrels. So it looked like a table, and the Union soldiers would come in and looking for things, and they wouldn't find anything because they were hidden.
Exactly. So, what is it about Mary Baldwin University today that is haunted? Well, First of all, the McClung Residence Hall is said to be the most paranormally active. And students in that hall have heard noises and voices and pitter-patter down the hallway. Additionally, boot sounds they've also heard in the attic above them. They've heard things like dragging across the attic.
And there's no floor in the attic.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
However, the most notable thing about McClure Hall is that it is not uncommon for
mirrors to break.
Yeah, like mirrors falling off walls,
Yes.
mirrors being...
Their compacts in their purses, their makeup compacts being shattered.
Yes, mirrors on desks falling
Yes.
off and shattering. So it kind of makes you wonder because of the way Mary was.
Not liking
Right.
her photo or anything or her image, so maybe she doesn't like the mirrors.
Is Mary back? I don't know. So now, in addition to McClure Residence Hall, the administration building that you see behind us here also has its share of noises and bumps and knocks
Yes.
in the night, as well as apparitions of a Union soldier from the Civil War who is dressed in his blue coat and has been seen in this building and outside as well. His name...
Oh, they call him Richard. They don't know what his name is, but they call him Richard.
Exactly, and he makes frequent visits here to the admin building, as well as they said there's been girls that have said that they've been walking across campus and there's been a guy dressed in Confederate clothes
Right.
following them, and they get to their dorm, they turn around and poof,
He's not there.
he's disappeared. So I don't know who Richard is, but he definitely likes to hang around here, so supposedly. So now there are other stories and tales that can be told about Mary Baldwin University. Again, I recommend you go to that ghost tour of Staunton,
Right.
and you'll find out a lot more about this location. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to leave Mary here on top of the hill,
Yes.
and we're going to go down to our next haunted location. All right, so we are here in our first neighborhood, and we're in the Newtown area, which is basically downtown Staunton here. And as you can see, I mean, look at the large homes up along the street here. Right across the way here, you've got Stewart Hall School, and then you can see, of course, right on down into the downtown area. So you're looking at a very convenient location here. And homes that we're going to look at here, with this one kind of similar to them, in the $300,000 to $500,000 range. In this area, but like I say, it depends on their location and of course how large they are and they've been updated or not. Now the like I said, the location is amazing here, and matter of fact, you're only about 4/10 of a mile away from the farmers market, about 5/10 of a mile from the Black Cars Playhouse. That's like a 10-minute walk, and then all the Beverly Street locations are within that 10-minute walk as well. And then Gypsy Hill Park, if you want to go out there, it's about 7/10 of a mile away. Now, the home that I want to show you is coming right up over here across the street. I'll change hands here and I'll show it to you. This very, very large home that you see here is currently active on the market, listed for $535,000. It was built in 1892. It has 4 bedrooms and 3 baths, 2,380 square feet of above ground living space. And if you break it down, it's $200 a square foot for being right in downtown Staunton. And it sits on a 0.09 acre lot. And like I say, if you want to be in the center of it all here in Staunton, this would be a home that you definitely want to consider. Like I say, whether you're going to live there or whether you're going to turn it into a bed and breakfast, you're in the heart of downtown. And to start with, I mean, imagine just sitting on that nice large deck up there, overlooking the city, overlooking the downtown area, and all that goes on here in the neighborhood. And as you enter the home, the wood floors are going to amaze you, and you're going to love that staircase that's there. And there's a nice living room area. And here's the good thing. The eating kitchen has been updated and has new smart appliances. Now, upstairs, the primary suite is very nice and features a fully updated modern bathroom, and there's a lot more updates that have been done to this home, like a new roof and gutters and an entire basement area being encapsulated so it can be used for storage. And I mean, it's one of the reasons you really need to see this property in order to kind of get an idea what all it offers. So that's our first home here in Staunton. So we are here in the heart of downtown Staunton at the Clocktower. Now this building, built in 1886, has seen many businesses come and go, ranging from restaurants, even to a Woolworth's department store from the 1930s all the way up into the 1980s. Now, that's not what it originally was, though.
No, it wasn't. Originally, it was designed and constructed to be the YMCA. It actually had a bowling alley, a track, a library, and lots of things for the boys in the community to do. Yes.
Now, the clock itself was manufactured in Massachusetts and assembled here. And today, above the market that you see there, there are residences, apartments, and they have no shortages of stories that come in from there. But to really understand those stories, you have to understand a little bit about some of the tragic events that took place at this location. In the early 1900s, the building was heated by coal. And so they've shoveled coal into the ovens down in the basement, and there was a man that worked in the building doing that, and he died of a stroke. Now, a few years later, in 1912, there was a little girl who was playing in the building, and she fell down one of the coal chutes, and unfortunately broke her neck, and she passed away. And even recently, within the last 20 to 30 years, there was a report of a domestic dispute that took place here. We don't really know what happened to it, but we do know that there was a woman that fell out of the second story window right there and fell down to the sidewalk below, down to her death.
So additionally, there used to be a restaurant right there beside the market, and in the restaurant was a bar. And you know how they have those sliding things above the bars that they hang the glasses on? Well, those glasses had a tendency to move, and sometimes they moved so much that they fell and broke. So that's an interesting thing. The other thing is that inside the market and inside the restaurant, they had photos, of course, or pictures on the wall, and they had glass in the frames, and they would find them falling and the glass shattering. So much so that they decided to start taking the glass out of the frames so they didn't have to clean up the glass anymore. Now, sometimes they thought it was traffic because it's right there on the corner that may have been shaking the building, but
there's other stories as well. So listen to this owner's story. So the owner would go home late at night, he would lock up the building, and when he'd walk out, he'd look back into the building, and all the little tea lamps on the tables had relit themselves.
Yeah, that's just a little weird.
So he'd have to go back in and put all the tea lamps out. Now, additionally, there's been laughter heard of children and a lot of EVPs that have been captured as well. And there's, like I say, there's a host more of stories about this location. So, is it possible,
I don't know,
maybe some of the former residents here in Staunton in this building just don't know when it's time to leave? All right, so for our next home here, we are in the Selma neighborhood. And the Selma neighborhood is a little bit further out, but not much. As a matter of fact, you're on this side, you're only about half a mile away, about a 10-minute walk from Gypsy Hill Park. And if you want to get to downtown Beverly Street, I mean, right in the center of things, you're about 7/10 to 9/10 of a mile away and about 15 to 20 minutes away. Now, the home that I'm going to show you here is actually coming up on the other side of the street here. So let me go ahead and swing around so that you can see it. And this home is currently active on the market. It's listed for $400,000. It was built in 1986. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, and 1 half bath. 2,510 square feet of finished living space, of which 2,170 is above ground. If you break that down, it's only $159 a square foot, and it sits on a 0.39 acre lot. Now, this home is another home that greets you with a wonderful front porch. You see there that you can sit on and that you can enjoy. Upon entering the home, you're going to be greeted with a staircase to the second level, and the living room with its beautiful wood floors and just a real nice cozy fireplace there as well. Now those wood floors continue into the dining area where there's plenty of room to entertain guests, and also the kitchen has its own ceramic tile flooring and both stainless appliances with beautiful granite countertops. Now the primary suite is located on the main level. That's a really nice feature to have at home. And there are 2 more bedrooms and full baths on the upstairs as well. There's also a walkout basement that has plenty of room for a nice family room. And if you like the outdoors, there's a nice deck on the rear of this home where you can enjoy nature as well, especially on beautiful fall days like today. All right, so you've seen another home here in Staunton, but now for our last location, we're going to give you a bonus. We're actually at 2 locations for the last place. Those 2 locations here are the American Hotel and the Staunton Train Depot. Now, the train depot was originally built back in 1854, and Staunton with that became somewhat of a transportation hub where people would come from all around, especially soldiers from the South during the Civil War. A year later in 1855, this American Hotel was built right here next to the train depot, and the American Hotel was an amazing place.
It was so beautiful. It was known for being modern and luxurious, and the hotel had gas lighting and bathtubs and hot water. And actually, people from all over the United States would come just to Staunton, just to stay at this hotel and appreciate and enjoy its beautiful modern rooms and its gorgeous ballroom with a balcony as well. Now,
yeah, and I mean, people like Stonewall Jackson, actually, historical figures stayed here as well. So,
right.
But along with Stonewall Jackson, after only a few years of it being open, boom, the Civil War starts. And so once the Civil War starts, it turns into a makeshift hospital, one of several locations here in Staunton, and hundreds of people, hundreds of men would be, it was really like a trauma center, and it was so crowded sometimes they'd literally lay out bodies along this, between the railroad tracks and the hotel here, many of them, hundreds of them, before they could get them in just to be taken care of. So, like I say, it is a place that has seen a lot of death, and it's a place that's seen a lot of turmoil here over the years.
Now today, among a handful of other businesses, this old hotel is used as a wedding venue. Actually, we know someone who got married there recently. Because of its amazing balcony and its ballroom, it makes a beautiful wedding venue. And people who work inside the building today talk of hearing heavy footsteps. And conversations of men in the hallway, and they smell cigar smoke as it comes across, they walk across the room, and even some have said to see apparitions on the balcony.
Yeah, so the American Hotel definitely has its own haunted history, and who couldn't understand it with all of the surgeries and amputations and things that took place there. Exactly. So now the train station here that you see on my right side here was actually built in 1902, and it's the 3rd station to have been here. Now this train station has also been mentioned in some circles as one of the 10 most haunted places on the entire East Coast as a result of its sounds and voices and even apparitions as well. Now, the first depot was burned to the ground by Union General David Hunter during the Civil War, and the second one was destroyed by a derailed train. And there's stories about each one of these, and there's some of the hauntings that go along with it. So going back to that Civil War era, since the railroad brought many young men from the South up here to Staunton so they could fight in the Civil War, young men often get mischievous and they want entertainment, and that led to some of them being drunken. And as a matter of fact, one of those soldiers, a Confederate soldier here, a man by the name of D.C. McLaury, he had more than he should have, and he stumbled out onto the tracks, bent over, and he was smacked by a train. And it's still said that you can see his spirit dressed in his Confederate uniform on the train tracks today. And some people even claim to have pictures to this effect.
Now, the second train depot also has some stories as well. It all begins in 1890 when a traveling opera group from Cincinnati comes to town. And when they arrived at the station, the engineer failed to slow the passenger train as he should have, and it entered the curve at the station behind us with tremendous speed, and it caused it to derail, unfortunately, and smashed directly into that train station. Well, there were people injured, and some of them were injured from the wooden beams and the debris that came through the train's window. And unfortunately, there was one fatality, and her name was Myrtle Knox. She was actually an opera singer, very well-known opera singer, and she ended up having one of her legs severed and the other one had like a 3-foot splinter go through it, and she unfortunately died on the impact.
Now today, here at the train station, it's said that lights flicker. Now, people think it's just because of the old wiring, but lights flicker and noises are heard. And as a matter of fact, some people even say they have seen Myrtle in her white dress here on the train platform. Other people claim that they have their hair tugged on, and they believe it to be by Myrtle. Now, there's another interesting story here about Myrtle that takes place here at the train depot after it had closed in the 60s, and it became a restaurant, the old Pullman restaurant, which itself eventually closed in 2008 as well. Now, inside that restaurant, there was a piano, and the owner would sometimes say that he would come there and he would sometimes hear piano music from inside the building as he came to unlock the building. Question: could this be Myrtle Knox making her last performance here in Staunton? Who knows, right? And what about the Confederate soldier on the tracks? Have you seen him here? Have you taken pictures? Has something in Staunton here, have you experienced something like that? We'd love to know. Comment down. I would.
Comment down below.
Comment down below and let us know if you've had anything that's happened like that. Now, again, I will plug the Ghost Tours of Staunton walking tour group. Great to come out here and just have a fun night. And really, a lot of it is really just about the history of Staunton, which has a rich, vivid history, and it's just very interesting to learn.
More than just the haunted history?
More than just the haunted history. Although that's kind of the fun part. So, but anyway, like I say, those are 4 different locations right here in Staunton that are purportedly haunted. Like I say, let us know if you've experienced something like that here in Staunton as well. But one thing that we want to make sure that we do is help you if you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, and we promise not to haunt you about it. but like I say, all of our information's in the description down below, and we're so honored to have helped so many people, and we'd love to help you whether you're selling or purchasing a home as well. Thought somebody was walking along the platform there. Well, a real person is, I guess. So like I say, call us, text us, email us. We'd be happy to help you as well. But I guess here from Spooky Staunton. Until next time, we'll see you around town.